Hey, welcome to the Prairie Dogs Podcast. It's Tyler. It's me, Tyler 2. I think I'm 2. I'd be the poo of the 2. I think we decided that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's me. I'm back for the final week of weird programming. I said that last week, but I mean it this week. You can trust me. Come on, I'm a man. I'm just an innocent man. You can trust me. So anyway, it's going to be one more final week of different programming. It's just me this week. And I thought I would try to talk about something that is somewhat interesting to some people. It might not be to others, so that's fine. If you skip the episode, I'm not offended. Just don't fucking tell me about it. Don't, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, if you're listening to this, it's Tuesday. And that means that Rumors Comedy Club, our fabulous sponsor, has Rob Bebnick all week. Old Bebsy, we call him, an absolute powerhouse of a comedian. And he's built like a brick shithouse, so don't try to rush him on stage or something bad will happen to you. And maybe your family even too. But anyway, always the best comedy at Rumors. Reach out to us. We will send you to see old Bebsy. We'd love to. We would love for you to experience more great comedy as you did last week with TJ Miller. I'll tell you this. When TJ Miller comes to the club, it is like a celebrated week. It's an affair. It's a gala event. We all wear suits and ties. We roll out the red carpet and we clap like little servants as he walks down the stairs. That made him sound mean. We choose to do that. We like to do that. Here's what I'm saying. He's a great guy. He's a great guy and a fun guy to hang out with. And he always treats us so nicely and kindly. And he treats the staff well. That says a lot about a comic, in my opinion, how they treat the staff. That says a lot about anyone. When you go to a restaurant, how you tip them, how you treat the server, how you talk to the servers, says a lot about you. And people notice, by the way, people notice. There was a table at the show last night, and one of the guys specifically tipped $10 to one of our lovely and hardworking servers, and then told his friends, don't tip her. I did it already. He tipped $10 on a $190 tab. And I'm not going to get into percentages, what you should or you shouldn't tip, this, that, and the third. But what you shouldn't do is tell your friends not to tip. What's the matter, you? Hey, I got a question for you. Hey, buddy, let me pull you aside. What's the matter, you? You know, that's what I'd say to him. I'd wet both my fingers. That's what that sound was. That's my index fingers being wet. And I'd double wet William front facing. I'd put both my fingers in his ears from the front. I'm facing him dead on, right? And then I'd blow air into his nose. I would airlock my mouth over his nose, and I would go, whoo, I'd blow a puff in, and then I think it would fill up his lungs, maybe, or my voice would come out of his mouth then. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but that's what I'd do. And all that to say that he's very kind to the serving staff and treats them nice. And I got some peanut butter this time. TJ brings peanut butter as merch, which is great. It reminds me of the scrotal greens that we sell here. And I should actually let TJ know about scrotal greens. I think he would be interested in trying to maybe sell some sort of, placebo style thing like we do. Or maybe I should keep that to us. Anyway, he sells peanut butter, delicious peanut butter. So I got a chocolate cherry peanut butter. I'm going to put that on what? Hey, what a treat for my dog that'll be when I put that on my nuts, huh? not just any peanut butter. I guess you can't have that one. It's a chocolate cherry. But he has a coconut one, and you can put that on your nuts. And that's like a treat for your dog. The dog goes, oh, it's like a Bounty bar. That's what your dog probably says. So anyway, what a great week with friend of the show, friend of the program, friend of the sponsor, Rumors Comedy Club, TJ Miller. So thanks again to Rumors for sponsoring the pod. Check them out. Check us out. Check out on your mom. Call her up too. You probably haven't done that recently. But in the meantime, this is what I want to talk about. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, that means that tomorrow, Wednesday, is the Just for Laughs showcase in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And what that means, if you're not familiar, and this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to kind of go over what that means for comedians, what it looks like, what you do, what the possibilities and opportunities are. And some people will think that it's interesting, and some people will not. But I think it's an interesting peek behind the curtain of how they're making the French sausage back there. So more or less, It used to be different, as you may or may not know. Just for Laughs went bankrupt. They they were sending money to someone who was invoicing them, to whom they did not owe money. It was a scam. Do you guys know about scams? Are you familiar with these things? So they're like untruths. It's people that try to manipulate you into deceiving you out of your money. It's like a scam. You've heard of it. It's a scam. Stands for shitty cum against man. Yeah, it wasn't bad. So they were getting emails from someone being like, hey, here's the invoice for all that great work we did for you. Please send $80,000. Please send $100,000. And I think they got taken to the tune of upwards of $1 million. And that sucks. You know what I mean? And then so they went away for a year, and that was tough to palate, to know that your potential opportunities, and I'm not saying I'm on a fast track here. I'm just saying that any and all potential opportunities for the festival that year were squandered to a Nigerian prince-style fiasco. That's not good. Hey, that's not good. What if Netflix said, hey, bad news, the Tom Segura special's not coming out. We got an email from T0mSegurum@hotmail.com. And he said, just go ahead and send all that footage here and I'll take care of it. And turns out it was a scammer. Imagine that. That's like what happened. And now, no fault, because I'll say this. If I'm sitting at an office all day too, and an invoice comes in, and my job is to just pay the invoices, I'm paying the invoice. If it looks good, the invoice comes into Just for Laughs and it says, here's the invoice for a bunch of laughs. And I say, yep, that's what we do. I'll pay that. Rubber stamp, approved. And they come in later and they say, hey, we're actually going out of business because of what you did. And I go, that's bad, but I get EI, right? And they say yes, and I take a year off. Now, they're back. They've regrouped. They've restructured. That's a word you hate to hear if you've ever been laid off. Did I PTSD you? They restructured the organization, and your job no longer exists. So that's what they did. They restructured. They got more money now. They're giving it an old college try once more, which is great because Just for Laughs, whether you like it or not, listener, is a Canadian institution. And I think a lot of people are tainted by the gags that are in rerun in perpetuum on TV all day, which some of them are funny, by the way. You just hate them because you can tell, even with sound off, that the people are French. And I don't blame you. But a lot of the gala shows, the New Faces showcases, of course, have been launching pads for many of the comedians that you love and adore now. And they've also had some of my friends out there. So that's nice for my friends. I am of the opinion that a rising tide raises all ships. Is that what they say? Or a good gumbo feeds the whole family. That's a version I just thought of for my Cajun family. Listen here. I said, if you got a gumbo that feed the whole family, you don't need no Just for Laughs showcase, baby. And that's my motto. So I got a gumbo cooking in the back in case I don't get Just for Laughs. But I'd sure love to bring my gumbo to Just for Laughs and feed everyone. Here's how it used to work. It was different this year. They used to reach out to you. Not necessarily directly, but they would source the comedians. They would reach out to the clubs and festivals and people of this nature in the city, and they would say, hey, who's on the radar? Who should we check out? And they would sometimes do 3 showcases and see maybe 30 comics some years. And so that was nice. It really made you feel like they were coming out and they were taking a peek and seeing what was what. Now this year, they were taking submissions. You were to go online, you were to fill out a form. This is specifically more for, I guess, new faces in more particular, but I know people that have got new faces and are still showcasing this year. So it is a full festival showcase, but there was a form for new faces for you to fill out, and nobody knew about it. So when the time came for them to start booking this showcase in town, which I don't think they intended to do. I think the thought was that the form would fill out in each city, and then they would just pick from the online video submissions and maybe not see anyone in person. That at some point changed. Now they're doing the classic coast-to-coast tour with their let's call them scouts. We always call them scouts on the advertising material for the shows to say, hey, the scouts from Just for Laughs are coming in. But it's just people that work for Just for Laughs that are, I guess they are effectively scouts. That's what you need to know in the layman term. But they do more than that as far as their jobs go. They come in to see all the comedians, which I think is better than online videos, so you can see how they are live. I don't think we should be converting to a world where it's like, here's my video, and that's maybe the best set I've ever done in my entire life ever. Please let me come to Montreal and kiss the big green monster. So they come out and they see you live, which is great. And this year, there was not a ton of submissions, I think because they missed the mark a little bit, to be honest. This is good feedback. This is constructive feedback. Please book me still by offering submissions. So a lot of people that were represented by management or otherwise knew about this because, of course, they did. That's their manager's job. It would be disappointing if they didn't, if you had representation. So they all got submitted, which I think led the Just for Laughs people to go, hey, what's going on here? This form is pretty weighted to industry, you know? So they went back through, which is nice. Also shows that they are paying attention, that the submission amount or ratio or whatever seemed off. They cycled back through and said, hey, please submit videos, and sent the form out, which no one that I knew had access to the link of. So a lot of people were scrambling over the course of 2-3 days to just try to find a video in order to submit. And as far as that goes, my recommendation to comics would just be to have a video. Have a set, man. To have one that you like. It doesn't have to be the best set you've ever done necessarily, because don't be chronically, I guess you can chronically tape your sets. There's nothing wrong with that. But have a set. For sure, just have a set on video that you can send in when someone requests it so that you don't miss out on opportunities. So we send in the tapes. They get back to people pretty quickly because they go, oh, great, there are comics in Winnipeg. We just thought there weren't. They book up the show over at the Basement Comedy Club, which is a fun speakeasy down at the end of Portage. So I just had my Bad Advice show recently. If you came to Bad Advice, thanks, lovebirds. But that's where the showcase will be. Previous years, they had spread them out. I think maybe there was a showcase at the Yuck Yucks previously. There definitely was at the Basement. And then we would do a showcase at Rumors as well. This year, no Rumors showcase. They did not reach out, at least as far as... I don't know if they reached out. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say they didn't reach out in order to have a showcase there. I will say it's harder to book things short notice there, obviously, because the schedule is so crammed ahead of time that you can't just kind of a month in advance say, hey, oops, we need a night to do this. And I think in previous years, Rumors management had actually been pretty accommodating to that by adding showcases onto regular shows. So you would have your host, you'd have maybe 5 comics doing, 6 or 7 minutes, and then your headliner just doing a somewhat reduced set. You would have that for the early and the late show. And in some years, it put us at a disadvantage because the crowd didn't necessarily know what they were about to experience, or it was a fundraiser crowd or a wedding crowd or something of this nature that also didn't know what they were in for, more or less. So the upside to this year's showcase, in my opinion, will be that it is specifically tickets sold for the Just for Laughs showcase if you want to see comics come and do their best stuff to showcase for the festival. I heard that the Basement showcase in previous years was very, very hot red fire, flaming Cheetos crowd. They came out with a cup full of elote with crushed flaming hot Cheetos and tahini on top. That was the kind of crowd it was. It was a flaming red hot Cheeto tahini style crowd. I'm hoping that's the same. We love a hot crowd that's there for laughter. That's what I truly enjoyed about this previous weekend doing a handful of shows with TJ Miller, is that the people that come out to see him are fans of comedy. So they know how to behave somewhat for the most part. Once you get to that level of fame, let's call it, you will inevitably have bozos and clowns coming to your show. And that's not your fault that they want to be loud and drunk and yell, I love you, TJ, applesauce, fuck my mom, or whatever. That's not his fault. That's your fault. You got a drinking problem. But my point, I forgot my point. If I'm being honest with you, man, ain't that a doozy? I think I've got dementia. Oh, that's what it was. The crowds were great, save for but a few. And that's a testament to him being a true professional that people want to come out and see, and they know to respect the show, which I like a lot. And that's all I want out of a crowd. So I don't need them to be hot. I just need them to be willing to experience a show. That being said, what do you do with 6 minutes of stand-up comedy? I don't know if you know how long 6 minutes is. It's not very long at all. One joke in my brain is 1 minute long. It's not true. It's not true. In an ideal world, I'll get maybe 2 laughs a minute, baby. I'm throwing a laugh every 30 seconds. And some of them are myself. I tell a joke, I go, ha ha. But that's a laugh. That counts as a laugh. And the CBC will tell you that. So I'm trying to maximize laughs while fitting in as many unique topics as I can, while also making sure it's my, quote, best stuff. And I'll say this about my best stuff. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of doing my best stuff because it's my best stuff. So whenever I'm in a jam, whenever I'm in a pinch at a tough show, we're pulling out of the quiver the golden arrow, the good stuff. And I try to keep it fresh. I try to mix it up with a new tag, a new punchline, a new way into the joke, a new segue out of the joke. I tie it into a different set of jokes. But I'm still sick of them. And I'm writing. But for something to become the best stuff, you need to work on it more times. The conflict is, and I think comedians will relate to this, and maybe musicians, or maybe anyone that is a creative type, when you make a new thing, that's your favorite thing. That's your current favorite thing. I don't know if that's relatable to musicians. You write a new song, you write a new riff, and you're like, this is my new favorite song, and it's the best one I've ever written. It should be the best because you're continuing to gain skills and acumen, but it's always going to be your favorite. It's like your new baby, right? You got a rotten old 8-year-old baby, and then a fresh one comes out, and he says, Daddy, and you go, oh, kill the other one. As far as you know what I mean? Put it in a zip tie it to something. I don't know if that part's relatable, but when you make something fresh, in my opinion, you love it more. It's fun. And so the connection there is that I got all these great new jokes that I'm having a lot of fun with. But I know they're not necessarily in their final form. It's not even my final form. Their power level right now, it's not over 9,000. The power level on some of these jokes is maybe only 7,000 or 8,000, which because my jokes are very powerful, but they're not at their maximum power yet. I'm trying to get these jokes to go Super Saiyan. I want to Super Say these jokes at people, but I love them so. Do you understand the conflict? So that's conflict number one, is that I've got some newer stuff that I have more fun doing, that I think that energy, the funness of doing the joke, translates to the crowd, and they know I'm having fun, so they have more fun, even if the joke is not fully polished yet. And it's still a good joke, so don't ever say it's not a fucking good joke. So that's the conflict number one. Conflict number two is that the instruction was this: 6 minutes. Don't do crowd work. Just get into the jokes, which is fine. That's what I do. Sometimes at the club, it's nice to do a little riff or two just so someone knows that you're in the room, you're present, and you saw the comic before you, or stuff like, just so they know, hey, this guy's a real person. He's in the room too. He's not coming up and just blasting into material, ignoring anything that may have happened prior to the moment he went up. That part I get. On a showcase, it's different because everyone's coming up and just going, so I was at the dentist the other day. They're launching into it. I get it. That part, I'm on board. They say no crowd work. That's fine. No crowd work is totally fine with me because I am not a crowd work comic. I can do it. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind pulling that rusty old quiver out of the bag, but it's not the most fun for me, and therefore it's not the most fun for the crowd. I'm not going to do what I would call crowd work. Maybe a couple years ago when I was drinking, I'll tell you this, I loved to self-sabotage. Just for Laughs would come through and I would have 7 minutes polished tight, and it's the tightest stuff I've done all year, and it's my best stuff, and it's reliable. And Just for Laughs would come through and I would say, I've got a new joke about horses and I'm going to deliver it blackout drunk. And you know what? They don't like that. So I'm grateful that they've restructured, and those who were around when I was self-sabotaging are no longer involved, and I can make a fresh impression on new people. That's my goal. What I was getting at with the crowd work point was that I got this new bit I've been doing, and if you've seen it, you know that it's been killing, and it's fun because it's different every time, unlike a joke, which by sort of definition is the same every time. You should be telling the same joke. That's how it works. What I've been doing is taking a pack of Pokemon cards, a sealed pack of Pokemon cards, and I open it on stage, and then I do tarot readings with the Pokemon cards. So whether it's their type or it's their the moves they have, their weakness, what they maybe evolve into, whatever the elements are on the card that I can pull from in order to tell you what it is about your life that you didn't know. And I know it because the Pokemon told me. And I want to be the very best Pokemon tarot reader like no one ever was, And I will be, because I think I'm the only one doing it. That's why I'm enjoying it so much. I think that it is something people have never seen before. When's the last time you saw a guy doing tarot card readings with Pokemon? I'm the fool. But anyway, my dilemma is that crowd work? Because I'm pulling the cards from the pack and then I'm putting them to the crowd and I'm saying, you pick one, buddy, and they pick one. And then I look at the card on the spot. It's a bit of a sort of a magic trick improv crowd work combo where I say, hey, you got a water type. And then, I'll make a little joke on the spot. And I try to make them different every time. Because you could, like crowd work, you could just bank a bunch of stock responses. But I don't. I try to make it fun every time because it's fun for me and it's fun for them. So my point is this. And my question to you is this, listener. Is that crowd work? Or is that a unique bit? I will compare it to this. There is a guy on Instagram, and I'm gonna try to talk out now what he looks like so that I can remember his name. He's tall and he's got long hair, and he's got glasses, and he does a bit where he'll point to a guy in the crowd, and he gets them to count down from 60 to 0 in their head. And when he points at them, they say the number they are at out loud. That's the bit. His joke wraps around him pointing at them, and whatever number they say is the punchline of that particular line. It's very funny, brilliant in my opinion, very original, and you can sort of play with the wording. I'm not telling him how to do his shit, but it's a joke you can kind of sandbox around in a little bit and make unique each time. Mine's like that. It's brilliant and funny. So I'm torn between doing the jokes that are the best, the most polished, to the ones that are new and I'm having a lot of fun with and are very good but are not my most polished, or 3 Pokemon card tarot readings. And if I had to tell you, and I'll tell you, because that's what I got to keep telling you. That's the whole thing about the podcast. I'm leaning towards the Pokemon cards. I've been doing it recently. It's been super duper fun. I've been doing it at the pop-up shows, at the Don't Tell shows, this and that. And people go, is that a real pack? You're really opening that on stage? And I go, yeah, because that's the fun. It's like you're amazed, so you're laughing. Is that delusional? Am I going nuts? So listener, help me. Which one do I do? will put a comment on this and say, hey, I think you should do this, that, or the third. Because I do comedy for the crowd. So as much as I would love to do very well for the fine folks at Just for Laughs, and I would love for them to say, that's our boy, that's our Mandy, that's a vocal stim. Does anyone know that one? I got to be the only family in the North American continent using that's our Mandy as a vocal stim. From John Mulaney's Sack Lunch Bunch, when the young boy goes to the animated film and he knows the character's voice is immediately Mandy Patinkin. He hears him and he immediately goes, that's our Mandy. Anyway, now I really fucking lost my spot. So I think I'm going to do the Pokemon cards, you guys. Because I'm playing for the crowd. That's you guys. I've regained my spot. You guys are the crowd. And I want you to laugh. So as much as I want the Just for Laughs folks to go, that's our Mandy, we want him, I want them to also go, that was unique and funny. That was, wow, I have been across the country. This is them now. I'm doing them. This is their voice starting now. Wow, I've been across the country and I haven't seen anything like that Pokemon guy. I'm sure he's got other stuff. If we really need him to not do the Pokemon thing, I'm sure he's got other stuff that's equally funny because, wow, that was original and funny. End quote. That's what I'd hope they would say. They don't need to book me. I just want them to go, wow, that was original. We didn't see anything like that across the country. Because there's lots of funny people. There's lots of funny people in the country because I've seen it. I've seen lots of funny people. But fewer, more scant amount of them are original and creative and things of this nature. That's what I want to be without being a psycho. I don't know if that's trademark. Can I do that? Can I pull out a Pikachu and be like, that's like you, bitch, or whatever? Or that's not the bit, by the way. They're much better than that, but I'm trying not to give them away for free, you cowards. So that's the hole that I am in. It is a hole, one shovel deep by one shovel wide, Stanley Yelnats style. And I'm in it, and I'm thinking. I'm sitting down in the hole with a cold beer, just thinking. Me and my thoughts. Should I do the Pokemon cards? Should I not? 6 minutes is not a lot of time. So I could pack in 12 to 15 jokes, or I could pack in more Pokemon cards. Something to consider. There is, I think, 10 or 12 comics on the show. So my main worry, and I guess it's not a worry because I've done this enough times that I no longer put real weight in it. I never leave the showcase being like, well, something better come of that. I hope to just do well on the show because that's always kind of what I'm trying to do. Just almost forget that the people are there because it doesn't matter. The percentage is so small of really being selected for any given thing, especially without any management or anyone in industry pushing you into these people. They really have no reason to take anyone outside of truly enjoying their set and then also feeling like when they go back to Montreal that they can sell my set to the next person that they need to in order to get me booked. You know? Sometimes a good job for them is not picking their 12 favorite comics across the country. And maybe I'm lying here, but this is my perception. That a good job is not necessarily picking their 12 favorite comics across the country. A good job is picking a roster of new faces that then when they bring to Montreal do well. You know, you want to be like a kindergarten teacher a little bit, or I guess you could be any year. I don't know why I made it us toddlers, but if you're the booker of the class of new faces, I would think your desire would be that when this festival is over, that some of these people have found management or agents, or have even better that some of these people maybe have come with other projects to the festival so that when people ask them, hey, what do you got going on right now? They're actually able to say, here's what I'm doing on top of stand-up comedy. Because you got to do so much more now. You used to be able to go, we've mentioned this sort of in passing on the podcast. You used to be able to go to the Just for Laughs festival with your stand-up. People would watch it and they would go, we'll turn that guy into a show. We'll make something for him. We'll give him $1 million to just work out a creative deal with us, an overall deal, not even for anything, just that we want to have them on the roster. Nowadays, you go and you do the set, and then maybe you stand around and you go, does anyone want this? Please, please. So I would think that if I was the booker, I would be thinking, not only can I book someone, but will they spread their wings and fly? That would be, there's been booking in other avenues where they pitch it as a launching pad. We're booking a launching pad thing for, this is the next boopties, or the everything's called next up, or the next this, or the new that. But then the people go away. They're doing too many of them too often, in my opinion, with people that don't have necessarily enough time or enough of a product to sell, that when they hit the festival or they leave the festival, what now? A club reaches out and says, hey, that was a really great 7-minute set at New Faces. Can you come headline our club? And they go, no. Can I come do 15 minutes somewhere in the middle, which is fine. I guess I'm trying to figure out if my opinion is that I think that you should be headlining. I don't think it is. I don't think it's my opinion. So sometimes I will say something and then immediately go, that's not right, Tyler. I'm just talking it out. So I guess you shouldn't have to be headlining or anything in order to get booked there, but you should be on to something. Otherwise, what's the point? In my opinion, you're kind of taking up a spot. Come back later. It's not to say you're not great or you won't be great or whatever the case is. I'm just saying, come back later. Develop the skill. There should be there should be a step before that where they go, just come on out here and do like a development, put them in a league of some sort and wring out the towel that way. Make the cream rise to the top. And then guess who comes over, eats the cream? Me. I freeze it, I eat it, it's ice cream. No one's ever thought of doing that with the cream that rises to the top. They've always just made butter with it. Turn the butter, Jebediah. Not me. I ice it. And I eat it. Whatever that means. So listener, what do you think of that? What do you think of what we're going through? There's going to be, and I'll say this, there are some newer comics new to showcasing comics for sure. Like these are comics that have not showcased for Just for Laughs before, or maybe whatever. And I'm excited for them. That's good. It's nice to have an opportunity. Anytime I get an opportunity, I go, wahoo! And I feel excited. And so I'm trying to be more excited for other people. Because when I got my first showcase, you think you can get it. You're like, I'm going to get Just for Laughs. And then you don't. And that's right. That's correct. They did the right pick. You know what I mean? But it's experience. Now you've showcased and you know what that feels like, what the anxiety or the pressure or whatever you perceive it to be, whatever that is. And you can see what other people are doing. And maybe you do get it your first year, Don't let me come off as Scrooge McDuck diving into a pile of gold coins here. Or no, that's not the guy. The Christmas guy. The one where the ghosts are like, we're going to rape you or whatever. We did rape you we're presently raping you. I can't remember what the ghosts do. But I'm not that. I'm not curmudgeonly and grumpy. If I hope someone does get it on their first showcase. And then they bring me on tour as their feature. I don't care. The tides are rising and they're raising all ships and they're full of flaming hot Cheetos. That's what I want you to take away from this episode. So come to the showcase if you want me to succeed. That's something I could say. Come to the showcase if you want and cheer. When they bring me to the stage, cheer as if like, oh my God, I can't believe he's showcasing. He should already be hanging out with Russell Peters. I can't believe he's showcasing, That would probably help. Or maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it just make me look bad. But I think that's all I really care to share. I guess if I can do like an add-on episode to this for patrons, if there's any more questions that you'd like to know about specifically different parts, I wish I had a Tyler or a Tim here, because they're always good at, hey, what about this? Or what about that? And then I would answer, more questions, because I get distracted so easily. And it doesn't help. I will say also that I'm playing Rocket League at the same time. So that's been making it hard. The guys are yelling at me online here with their words. That's text chat, and they say bad stuff all the time. I just report them. I get them banned. They don't think they will get banned, but I ban them. Yeah, I'm a narc. I'm an online fucking narc. Don't call me gay online. Call me gay in person, See how you like it. See how you like getting sucked, pal. No, I won't. Unless you want. So come to the showcase and let me know if you have any other questions about how this process works and how it will maybe benefit you in the future when you decide that you've known me from the start. And that's the thing. If you guys come to the show and you cheer for me so that they think I'm a big deal, and then they book me, I'll give you $5. You were here from the start. You were here from the ground floor of the Twin Towers. That's the thing. It's always good to be on the ground floor, except for, of course, the Twin Towers. And only on that one day. Only on that one day. Every other day was a totally fine day to be on the ground floor of the Twin Towers. They had like a bagel shop, I bet. Probably. Is it bagel or bagel? Or is it both? Anyway, I'm running out of steam here. So let me know. Was that good? Do you care about this shit at all? Or should I never do this again? I think I will say this. The goal is that I will never do this again. Next week, Tugboat Tim is back from the exotic tour of Ontario, Canada. I think T-Pain schedule clears up. T-Pain, of course, being Tyler Penner, not the auto-tune laden singer T-Pain. You see how they might be similar because, Tyler Penner. Anyway, you fucking get it. The boys will be back in town, and they're coming in a bright white sports car. And so we'll be doing regular episodes once more with more Patreon stuff. Patreons, I'm sorry we had to release your bad advice, your precious bad advice that is for the paying individuals. So there's a new one coming soon on Patreon just for you. And then on March, before I hit the road, we're going to record a bunch of episodes as well as hopefully another bad advice. So that way there'll be another one of those coming to Patreon. Keep up the monthly-ish cadence. And then also let us know what you want. You can just specifically say stuff. Hey, what if you did a food review? What if you made fun of Mr. Beast? You can say, and we'll do that because we want to do good. We want you to love us. So if you got suggestions and stuff, let it rip, man. Join us on the Patreon. It's a fun little community where we hang out and there's bonus content, and we've started sending stickers and things like that. Maybe we'll get some merch or something at some point. I don't know. For now, I think that's the Prairie Dogs podcast. Follow us, Prairie Dogs podcast, on all the stuff, or most of the stuff anyway. And then come to the showcase and see what it. Now you've heard about it, come see it live and see if we did it, man. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll see the set that gets someone into the festival, and then you're like 3 layers deep on, I knew them first. You know what I mean? Like if you're the person that's like, I knew Shane Gillis when he did the Asian voice, that could be you. For me. And Hawaiian voice, brother. Well, that's that. That's the Prairie Dog coming to you for the Prairie Dogs. Thanks for listening. Thanks for continuing to tune in over the past couple of weeks when the content, the scheduling has been rocky. We appreciate it. Tyler has a very stressful and varying hours style job. He works as a lumberjack cutting down trees in the Okanagan, but they got to make sure there's no wildlife in them first, right? So he does stuff like knocks on the trees, climbs up there, whistles around like a bird. So if they're there, they whistle back, and then he knows what kind of birds there are and stuff like that. So it's stressful. You can imagine the hours are bad, and he has to climb the trees. There's no harnesses or anything like that. So I guess we'll see you guys next time. And now I'll end you this episode with 1 minute of just free word association. Okay, here we go. Laundromat, laundry, washer dryer combo, vertical washer dryer combo, toaster oven, toaster strudel, toasting over an open flame, chestnuts, breasts, Breasts are chestnuts. Nuts on your chest. Testicles. Ice testicles. Icicles are like a testicle. A brown fog for some reason. A brown, like The Mist. Stephen King's The Mist. Stephen King of China. The King of China wrote The Mist by Stephen King. Well, I hope that was as fun for you as it was for me. See you next week.